Chris and his dad talk about sports.
What is up, everybody? I'm Chris Daly, joined here by somebody that goes way, way back. And I said that last show, but 15 years we've known each other. That's the longest I've known anybody. So, Dad, thanks for coming on. And this is the Chris and his dad show.
I have some bad news, though. I didn't meet you 15 years ago. I'm actually
the mailman. Anyways.
How you doing, Chris?
I'm doing all right. How about you yourself?
Good. Just trying to prepare for this big show we're doing here.
Yeah, a lot of playoffs going on.
Yep, a lot of playoffs.
Two separate leagues.
Really good hockey playoffs going on, and it's been an exciting week. So, a lot to talk about.
Yeah, well, say less. The Bruins and Capitals have had an interesting series.
Yes.
Very, very interesting series. As you know, the Capitals have had some issues with goaltending. They get a third-string goaltender to play. He plays pretty well, considering the fact he's not the main guy. But they lose 4-3 in overtime, and your favorite player, Brad Marchand, got the goal.
Oh God! Don't even say it.
So that was a great game, and it's just crazy seeing how fast-paced, how intense these NHL playoffs are. And as I get more into hockey, all of a sudden I realize it's just a whole new game when you get to the Stanley Cup playoffs.
So I've been telling Chris since he was a little kid that hockey playoffs are the best playoffs of any sport, in my opinion. When you really get invested in a hockey team, or if you just love hockey, the players just give it they give everything. They give their bodies to it. They throw themselves in front of pucks, and they play injured. They grow beards down to their whatever. They never shave. Did you notice that?
Yeah, I know.
During the hockey playoffs. So as you get deeper into the hockey playoffs, it's really cool. But this year in particular, there's a lot of parity in the league, and so there's not just one dominant team. You got the Penguins going against the Islanders, which is
it's a great game.
Matt
Barzal on the Islanders, and you got the Penguins. We all know Sid the Kid. So two of the NHL's biggest stars going against each other. And
who's your pick for the Islanders Penguins?
I'm going Islanders.
Really? Okay.
I think Matt Barzal, and I've watched the Rangers play both teams several times this season.
That doesn't do much.
But I'm more impressed with the way the Islanders play than I am with the Penguins.
All right, real quick, I want to hear these. Who's your pick? Caps versus the Bruins.
Caps?
Right now the series is at 1-1.
Yeah, I got Bruins.
You got the Bruins. Why?
I got the Bruins because of their experience.
Yeah.
But when I say experience,
Caps won the Stanley Cup.
But also the Bruins have been on a roll. They've been on the roll, especially in the later half of the season, and they got hot at the right time, and now they're in the playoffs. And against the Capitals, I just don't think the Capitals also deserve it because Tom Wilson.
That's not the way it works. So Tom Wilson had a major hit in the last game where he sent one of the Bruins into the bench.
Yeah,
and they're the Bruins are ranked number 3 and the Caps are 2. So it's a close very
game.
Very close one. I think that's going to go deep.
But
I think
TJ Oshie's dad passing away too was huge in terms of the whole locker rooms united in DC. But I think the Bruins got hot at the right time, and it's Stanley Cup playoff time. We've seen teams get hot. I said the Buccaneers are going to go to the Super Bowl. Not just because they had Tom Brady, but they got hot at the right time.
Yeah.
And that's, to me, the biggest thing that matters.
I'm picking the Capitals, so I'm going against you on that one. How about the Rockies versus the Blues?
It's the Avalanche versus versus the Blues. I got Avalanche.
Can we edit that out?
Well, you got Nathan McKinnon. Nathan McKinnon had 2 goals and an assist in the last game, 4-1. Jordan Binnington, the goalie for the Blues, a one-season wonder, people say. When they won the Cup, he was the best goaltender in the league, and then he's definitely declined in performance since then.
How about the Golden Knights versus the Minnesota Twins? Just kidding.
The Knights.
How about them?
The Knights have been one of the best teams, maybe the best.
The Golden Knights. Come on.
They've been one of the best teams in the league this whole season, and I don't think they're going to give it up now.
Okay. All right. So you think because that series is at 1-1.
Yeah, well, that's 2 games in. I think they got a lot of games to play.
They do. And then we got some that haven't started yet. We got Toronto versus Montreal. You got the Oilers versus the Jets.
I got Toronto and Edmonton in both of those. Okay. Edmonton, you have Connor McDavid, who's the face of the league, some may say. He has, if you take all his goals away from him this season, he's still second in the league in points. That just goes to show his pure domination.
He is unbelievable. It's amazing how the Oilers were spoiled with Gretzky and Messier
Yeah,
and
it's
all those
crazy.
early years, and now they got,
Yeah. And then the Maple Leafs, they got great players like Austin Matthews,
Yeah, he's pretty good.
and they built a whole team around him. That's the biggest thing.
Mm-hmm.
Edmonton still got to build around McDavid more, but Toronto,
So we got 2 more series, Chris. I want to hear your opinions on. Okay, you got Carolina versus Nashville. That series is 1-0 right now. The Canes are winning.
yeah, I got Carolina in that one.
You do? Okay, and
One
the
of the best
most
in hockey. Sebastian Aho,
yeah.
just a great overall team.
Okay, and the most I find intriguing one is
Yes.
Florida Panthers versus Tampa Bay. We'll finish up with that one. You got Tampa Bay coming in as a 3 seed, Florida as a 2 seed. What are your thoughts?
Okay, coming into this, I said the Panthers. Now, watching the last 2 games, to me, it's crazy because what happened is the last 2 games of the season, those 2 teams played, and the Panthers won 5-1 and 4-0 in those games. So coming in, I'm like, okay, the Panthers must be better.
Yeah,
And I said the Panthers.
never works that way.
Yeah, Panthers. I said the Panthers are gonna win, and the Lightning. That was a great game 1. It was a tight game 1. Panthers needed to go late. They didn't get it. It was 6-on-4 because of the Lightning on the power play, and they didn't manage to get a goal.
Right.
And then the Lightning win again. So now all of a sudden the Lightning got the momentum. They won away, so they can prove they can win away with pretty much a packed crowd because it's Florida.
Yeah.
And just Lightning looks so good. Steven
The
Stamkos.
series right now is 2-0 Lightning.
Yeah, it's crazy. I thought.
I'm not surprised though. I mean, think about the success the Lightning
they
have
just-
had.
Sorry, I didn't quite catch that. Could you please repeat it?
Siri has joined the show, everybody. That's great. That's great.
Only me. You
Yeah.
got to get me off this show. I can't do this.
But the Lightning, they look good, and it's crazy because it's fun to watch those games too, especially with the Avalanche. We talked about, the Carolina,
Yeah, the Canes.
the Canes.
Yeah.
We talk about them. Those teams pretty much filled stadiums and
Yeah.
arenas.
Yes.
It's fun to watch.
Yeah, it is fun to watch. They're pretty good, and the playoffs so far have been extremely close. The games have been close. They've been going down to the last minute. I mean, even the Islander game the other night, last night, it was just incredible. So really good games. I would suggest everybody watch some NHL. Moving from NHL to NBA, I want to hear your thoughts. There's some big games going on there.
Warriors and Lakers, that is a huge game. LeBron James is back. He's only played 4 games in the last 2 months. Meanwhile, Steph Curry's been dropping 32 points per game this season.
Was that good?
Might as well just be the MVP. Might as well give it to him now. But the thing that's interesting to me about this game, statistically, the best defender on Steph Curry in the league is Lakers point guard Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah.
He's German, and he is good. He is good at defending Steph Curry. That's his specialty, defending
Yeah.
Steph Curry.
Yeah. So what's your pick? And why don't you set it up? What's going on tonight?
What's going on tonight is the playing game. The winner of this game goes straight to the NBA playoffs.
Yeah, the winner clinches the 7th
Yeah.
seed, and but the only problem is, they get a first round matchup with the number 2 seed, the Phoenix Suns.
Mm-hmm.
So but you want to live for another day, and so it's a big game tonight. The loser takes on either the Grizzlies or the Spurs in a do or die game.
Yeah, I say both teams clinch.
Yeah, and that's for 8th seed on Friday. So
I say both teams in this game, the Warriors and Lakers, they both make the playoffs. But tonight, I have the Warriors winning.
okay, all right. So you got the Warriors winning.
Because Andrew Wiggins, we talk about guys on a roll, the teams that are hot. There's a player that is hot. His name's Andrew Wiggins. He was a number 1 pick to the Cleveland Cavaliers. He was traded, so they got Kevin Love. Kevin Love helped LeBron James win an NBA championship.
Yeah.
So Andrew Wiggins always had a weird start to his career, and now he's finally finding who he actually is, which is a premier defender in the NBA. He's been a lockdown on defense recently, and I think that will put them over the top. The Lakers haven't played together. The team we're going to watch tonight at 10 o'clock Eastern is not a team we've been watching a lot lately. The Lakers have barely played together in the past 2 months.
Yeah, and I'll tell you what. I think what's really intriguing about this, though, I always think the cream rises to the top. So I'm expecting LeBron James and Stephon Curry to really go at it
ballistic.
with each other. I mean, think about it. They played each other in 4 straight titles.
That's
And that's insane.
Yeah.
That's insane. So they
LeBron
have
James
a
has
real history of playing
LeBron-
each other, and it's gonna be really interesting.
LeBron's going to come out for blood, knowing the fact that he has barely played 4 games in the last 2 months.
Yeah, I know.
Due to his ankle.
I think you could beat him at this point,
Oh my gosh.
1-on-1.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, maybe not.
definitely.
Not with your broken wrist.
I'll just go under his legs.
Yeah, there you go.
Guy's like 6'8".
There you go.
Also, you're going to move on to the mound.
Where are we going?
We're going to the Chicago White Sox. You see what happened?
Oh God, yes.
Did
I
you see what
that.
happened?
Let's set it up. Tell me what happened.
Yerman Mercedes, who is a player on the White Sox. The White Sox are up by 11 runs. And an unwritten rule in baseball is you don't hit a home run when you're up that big, especially late in the game.
Yeah.
What does he do? He goes out, bombs it. And keep in mind, this was actually I think it was 47 miles per hour, the pitch.
Yeah, it was
Because
ridiculously. Yeah.
Because it wasn't
like a lob.
It wasn't actually a pitcher. It was a field player.
It was a field player.
Pitching. So he bombs it, just goes, it's so funny. And
Deep center field.
they're up by 11. No
Which okay, you're up by 11, but it's your Major League Baseball team. I mean, is that, what's your feeling on that?
You should hit it. The game doesn't stop until the game stops. And as an athlete myself, what do the coaches always say?
Since when are you an athlete? I don't remember this.
What do the coaches always say? Play to the final whistle.
Yeah.
Play to the final whistle. Tony La Russa, who is
La Russa.
He is the coach of the White
Sox.
La Russa. Well, that's like Pitbull. Say Pitbull.
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 All right, come on. Go on.
He says, I heard something like, this is in quotations, I heard something like, I play my game. No, he doesn't. He plays the game in Major League Baseball, respects the game, respects the opponents, and he's got to respect the signs. He gave him signs not to hit a home run, and what does he do? He hits a home run.
I got you. So where do you fall on this? What's your opinion? Do you think the player was wrong for going against the sign, swinging, and hitting a home run?
I think when it comes into terms of can you hit a home run in that situation, yes. But if your coach tells you not to, and if the coach really did give him the signs.
Yeah, and it was 3-0. It was a 3-0 count, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
If the coach gives you the signs, well, then maybe back off a bit. But what the player said about this is, I'm going to play like that. I'm Yerman. I cannot be another person because if I do that, everything changes.
Yeah, I think he's being a little dramatic. He could have taken the walk there. It probably would have been a ball anyways. But then again, I will say it's an interesting situation because, even in youth sports, you don't run up the score and you don't.
Well, it's not youth sports. These guys are getting paid millions of dollars to hit a baseball.
Exactly. But to be honest with you, it does happen in youth sports more than it doesn't, I think. And quite honestly, these guys are Major League Baseball players, but the fact that they did he was a position player who was not a pitcher.
Yeah.
It was almost like they're throwing up the white flag, right? Mm-hmm. So I think that tells me that the hitter should have just taken it easy there. It's a little bit it's called sportsmanship. There's a lot of sportsmanship in every sport. There's some unwritten rules. Every single sport. In hockey, if you square off for a fight, right? It's one-on-one, and the guy slips and falls. You don't start pounding them. You wait for him to get up. A lot of times they wait for their gloves to come off. They even take off their elbow pads, and the opponent waits. In football, there's sportsmanship, and the other teams, taking a knee or something. You don't go charging in there and wreck the quarterback.
Like Brendan Smith on the Rangers, the game after Tom Wilson.
You cannot get over this Tom Wilson guy.
Well, I can't because what Brendan Smith does.
You got to move on.
Chara goes up to Brendan Smith and says, "Want to fight?" Because everyone's fighting on the ice, and Brendan Smith is like, "No, I'm looking for Wilson." Chara, what does he do instead of fighting the guy? He just backs away.
Yeah,
and goes on with his day. But if I'm a soccer team and if I'm a soccer coach and it's 9-0 and I know I could win the league, I'm going to try to get a few more goals due to the fact that at the end of the season, goal differential could help you get first place.
Yeah, but that's not the case here. There's no goal differential in baseball. There's no
run differential.
Yeah, there's nothing like that. So, it's what Tony La Russa did not like, and he's an old-time manager. He managed for the Oakland A's. He brought them to the World Series. He's an extremely successful manager. What he didn't like more than anything was the guy disobeyed his signs. He's the coach. He calls the plays, and the guy disobeyed him. That's it.
Billy Beane.
Insubordination.
Billy Beane was the guy behind that.
Billy Beane?
That series run?
Oh,
Billy Beane, the general manager of the president?
You weren't even a thought back then.
Billy Beane.
Where were you? You don't even remember these days.
Billy Beane, Moneyball. Billy Beane. Anyways.
Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on to the Patriots, where at the rookie camp, the Patriots are blown away. Why? Yes, blown away with Mac Jones by the way he played and his leadership qualities on the line. That's what they said. Inside reports the leadership quality at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Mac Jones is pretty. When you think about it, the Patriots may have gotten a huge steal there in the first round. Unbelievable. And of all teams, for them to get it, it's unbelievable.
You ever see the side-by-side of him and Brady shirtless? They look exactly the same.
Do they really?
Because Brady was totally out of nothing like he is now at his combine.
Yeah.
And if you see Jones has a dad bod. He's got a cigar in his mouth. It's the funniest thing. And, of course, Tom Brady. Everyone says, oh, why did we just give Bill Belichick pretty much the guy who would play Tom Brady in a movie about Tom Brady?
I think Mac Jones is going to be the real deal. I think he's going to knock Cam Newton out of a spot. If anything, he might make Cam Newton play better. Because Cam Newton now he's gonna feel that pressure, and Belichick, he loves this. He loves this, and one of the reasons why he's doing that, and he's letting
the media know.
Yeah, he's letting the media know that Mac Jones is phenomenal, is because not only is he pumping up Mac Jones, he's also really motivating.
That's what I thought. Exactly my thoughts.
Now Cam Newton's got to look over his shoulder. So I think that goes a long ways. Last year, Cam Newton didn't have to worry about anybody coming in and taking the job.
Brian Hoyer. Brian Hoyer could have been the MVP.
Why?
I'm joking.
Oh, I was going to say
Brian Hoyer, Jared Stidham.
Yeah.
Well.
I don't think. I don't think Mac Jones will start, but I do think Cam Newton has got to play really, really good ball. And
what if he plays bad in it by when the Patriots and the Bucs play Week 4? Imagine Mac Jones is on that field.
Yeah. I almost have a prediction. I think I could see Cam Newton running with the ball, getting hit and getting clobbered and being hurt. And in comes Mac Jones, just like somebody by the name of Tom Brady. I don't know if you remember, but
Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah, Bledsoe got hurt against the Jets.
Yeah, it's always weird watching that because I watched ESPN 60 for 60 on Bledsoe, and Bledsoe, and he's always happy for Tom Brady, but at the same time,
don't believe that. Don't believe everything.
No, that's what he says. Yeah. But you can really see that he's definitely like, this guy took my place.
He did, but I think it's not too hard when then you look back and you see that the greatest quarterback to ever play the game took his place. It's not like he got beat out by some schlub.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, that's going to be fun to watch, and the NFL's not for another few months, and I'm already excited about the Patriots playing the Bucs and Mac Jones and all that good stuff.
And I just want to say a fun fact about the NFL. Do you know who the backup quarterback when Brett Favre and the Packers in 1997 won the Super Bowl was for the Packers? Who was the backup QB?
Hold on, who was the backup QB for
the Packers Super Bowl winning team?
What? Who did they beat again? Brett Favre. They beat. Was it the Broncos?
Yeah.
It might have been the Broncos. And who was Brett Favre's? It wasn't Aaron Rodgers, obviously.
No, it was somebody. It's somebody. I had no clue about this.
Oh, God.
I don't think you would get it.
I think I'm going to get it. Hold on. No. All right, go ahead.
Jim McMahon.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Now that's surprising to me. So he was a Packer before he became a Bear. Or was he?
No,
this? Oh, no. Oh, 97? Oh, okay. So
he was a Bear, and then he became a Brown, where he sounded off Bill Belichick. He calls Bill Belichick a liar.
I do remember that. Yeah.
And he hates Bill Belichick because he lied to him.
So that makes sense because his career was pretty much from 84 to probably right
it was
around
that
there.
Bears round.
Yeah. So he won. Did he? So he got a Super Bowl ring with the Packers?
He has 2 rings. He has one with the Bears that he actually played and started in, and then he has the one where he sat on the bench.
That is a fun fact.
Yeah, I never knew that until today. I was actually pretty shocked.
It's a definition of a fun fact.
Yeah, it is pretty fun. It's pretty fun. We should go.
Fun, and it's a fact.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Who are these people?
Gosh. Anyways, the Olympics are in danger of being closed.
Oh yeah, everybody's talking about the Olympics.
Nobody.
Nobody.
The Olympics are like the second most watched thing.
All right. So what's going on in the Olympics, Chris? And when are they? And tell us what you're
Japan's doing
about.
awful with COVID. They've seen a huge spike, a 585% spike from March 1st to this date.
In COVID
cases. And the 118-year-old lady who's going to carry the torch, she said she's not going to carry it because of COVID. And now...
Hold on, she's 118. They were going to have her carry
Yeah, she's the oldest living person. And the Olympics, 60 to 80%, roughly, in a poll of Japanese people, say they don't want the Olympics in Tokyo.
Really? Do you really think Japan's going to listen to their people and be like, oh, okay, we won't have the Olympics?
But we talk about sportsmanship. Well, Japan's skeptical about it. The prime minister who said, I'm happier at this moment when they got nominated or they got selected for the bid. He says, I'm happier than I actually am when I won my election. And now he's skeptical about this, and he also wants the Olympics out.
Well, I mean, it's a huge problem. I don't know how you manage
You have
to have
thousands of
athletes from all different countries all around the world. Not to mention, does America or Canada, who's still on lockdown, you think they're going to really send their athletes to a place that's,
Well, what infuriates me about this is
in the
the
middle of
fact
a pandemic?
that people work so hard their whole life. They might just have one shot at it. This might be the only Olympic they can ever qualify for.
Oh, the athletes, yeah.
They work tens of thousands of hours.
That's why you don't become an Olympic athlete. There you go. That's the other fun fact
Sorry,
of
you
the
don't
day.
do curling. Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my god. Well, that was a great interview. That one kid died, Nikhil Kumar.
Well,
18. He's a ping pong player.
Oh, yeah. You did interview. You should tell people to look that up.
Yeah, look it up. Go
Chris
into
has an
IGTV.
interview with the best ping pong player in America, right?
Yeah, he's number
And
one.
he's set to go to the Olympics.
He's set to go to the
go
Olympics.
to Japan, and now it might be ruined because of COVID.
I think he's like the second youngest kid in America going to the Olympics.
Oh, that's a shame.
There was a 13-year-old skateboarder. She's a girl that was supposed to go to the Olympics and be the youngest ever.
And so all this might not happen now.
Yeah, and all the records that were supposed to be broken, like the youngest of all time, now she's going to be the second youngest of all time.
Yeah.
But it's
I'm
still
still
impressive.
amazed about the 118-year-old torch lady. That's pretty cool. I can't believe there's somebody who's 118 years old.
Yeah, she survived so many things too.
Please tell me she's wearing a mask.
Anyways, to move on to the pitch, I'm going to go over my ideal U.S. men's
Sports
national
court
team.
would not be the sports court
Without some
Chris
soccer.
Didn't talk about soccer. His
Well,
favorite sport.
listen. This is what I want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Soccer talk.
Okay.
MLS broadcast.
So do me a favor.
men's national team.
Talk soccer.
I'm going to go over my ideal U.S. men's national team.
What do you got?
Because soon enough, there's going to be CONCACAF Nations League games,
Say it again.
which is all the North American countries pretty much play.
Yeah, you got to educate us.
All the North American countries play in a tournament, and we'll see who wins.
Okay.
America is one of the front runners alongside Mexico. It's pretty
Okay.
a two-horse race. Anyways, there's a lot of talk about who should and shouldn't be.
Now,
in
this is the
starting
same
lineup.
team that didn't qualify for the Olympics, right?
No, this is not. Completely separate teams.
Okay.
And
is
so
that?
I'll give it to you.
Yeah.
The people
Explain
who the Olympic qualifying team,
Mm-hmm.
you have to be under the age of 23 years old to be on that team.
Okay.
But what they did was we have so many great people in this lineup I'm about to give to you
Right.
that are under 23, but they didn't send them to that team because they wanted them on the men's team, which is any age, it's senior.
Okay.
So you can be 16, you can be 45.
Gotcha.
But they wanted them on this team so they can get better in the FIFA rankings, so they can get their points and move up the ladder.
Right.
And Greg Berhalter, who's right behind you,
Oh, yeah.
who I interviewed, what a guy. Go on YouTube, look it up. That was one of my favorite interviews. And are you not entertained, everybody? Are you not entertained?
Oh, my God. Please.
Anyways, I'm going to go over my lineup.
I'm not. I'm joking. Go
Gosh.
ahead.
Zach Steffen in net. He's Manchester City's backup goalkeeper. He's our best goalkeeper in America. He was great at Columbus Crew, and now he's killing it over in England. And he's done great things. Hopefully, he can just shake off that rust because he's not playing many games at Man City. At left back, Antonee Robinson. He is by far the best left back. There's a big debate about it. I think Sammy Vines comes pretty close, and he plays in MLS. But Robinson plays at Fulham. He's one of the highest rated left backs.
So he plays overseas.
Yeah, he's a top-
He's the real deal.
Yeah, in terms of highly rated left backs in the best league in the world, he's number 7,
Wow.
which
Okay.
is better than Liverpool's starting left back, who was considered the best left back in the world.
Okay.
So he's rated higher than that guy. And that might be due to the fact his team's so bad at attack, he just defends the whole
Let me
game.
ask you something. I'm going to ask you a real stupid question here, probably, knowing you. Since
Well,
you know
I mean,
so much
it's
about
fine.
soccer.
Like,
Will these guys play in the World Cup if we were to qualify for the World Cup?
yes, they would. And World Cup qualifiers come pretty quickly, and this is my ideal lineup for that.
Okay.
as
Because I
well
really
as-
want these guys to qualify for the World Cup.
I think they will.
You do? Because they didn't
I
make it
agree.
into. Well, I know
That
it's
was
not
a
this thing.
completely
I know,
different team.
I know. But American soccer is just always letting me down, especially men's soccer. The women's soccer's
Yeah, forget about it. Winning World Cups, going to
Yeah.
those.
they're phenomenal.
At center back, John Brooks, he's by far the best center back. Or I wouldn't say by far, but he is close. He might just be the best center back in the German league this year. The German league's the top 5 league in the world. I have it number 3 in my top leagues in the world. So he is up there for the top center back in that league. He is one of our best players.
Okay.
Now, at other center back, Aaron Long got injured. He plays in New York, the Red Bulls, but he's injured. So I go Matt Miazga, who plays in Holland and Belgium. He plays all over because he's at Chelsea. They loan him everywhere, and he's playing in Belgium currently.
So right now you're just going through the lineup.
Yeah. Right back, Serginho Dest is on Barcelona. You know Barcelona for a guy named? Who plays on Barcelona?
I don't know.
Who's the best player?
I don't know. Chris Daly.
Leo Messi.
Leo
Messi. He plays for... His footwork is insane. He was by far my favorite player to watch.
Messi's unbelievable.
Yeah. At holding mid, Tyler Adams, he might be injured with a back injury, but he might be there in time for the game, so I put him in. Tyler Adams, we met him, great guy, and he's done great things at RB Leipzig. They currently sit second in the German league. At left attacking mid, Yunus Munsa, who... He was born in New York, raised in Italy and England, and he chose America over England and Italy. Were both actively pursuing him, and Greg Berhalter dragged him into this program and got him to commit to the United States. It was considered the biggest win for the United States that whole 2020.
Yeah.
Because it was huge. This guy is literally one...
I'll tell you what, I feel very confident about Greg Berhalter and what he's doing with American men's soccer.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
I think he's really... we're definitely going in the right direction. It would be nice to see us win some games, maybe a tournament. This would be a good one to start with.
Yeah, and Weston McKennie is my other attacking mid. He's amazing. He got an assist today for Juventus in the Coppa Italia final, which is in Italy. He's been one of their best midfielders this season, although their coach, Pirlo, who's one of the best players, he turned into a manager of all time. He called McKennie. He said McKennie was fat, and he had to cut down on weight.
He really did?
Yeah, I guess he's... Yeah,
hey,
so...
listen, you know?
Anyways... Gio Reyna up top. His father's Claudio Reyna.
I got a phone call. I'm just joking.
His father is Claudio Reyna. Gio Reyna has done great things at Borussia Dortmund. Daryl Dike up top. He plays in the the English second division for Barnsley. Played against Wickham. Got 2 goals against Wickham.
Did he really?
Yeah. So he's amazing. Went from MLS to Barnsley and now
Wickham. They're still a team?
Yeah. Now Tottenham are trying to get him, and a lot of big clubs in England are trying to get him because he's just an absolute beast up front. Yeah. You should see the guy. His legs. He went from college soccer to one of the most highly rated prospects in the English second division in about 2 years.
Jeez.
Run from Clemson to Barnsley. And outright, which is my final player on this lineup, Christian Pulisic. We all know him.
We all know Pulisic.
Yeah.
He's from Pennsylvania. He's a Pennsylvania boy.
Yep, and that is
Pennsylvania lad.
That is it. There's a lot of people that might argue about it. My first 5 out: Brennan Erickson, Josh Sargent, Tim Way.
Okay, before you go though, can you just tell me how successful will this team be in this tournament in North America that they're going to be?
This team should win the tournament, and this team will qualify for the World Cup. And
when are the qualifiers?
Given pretty soon, this summer they start.
Okay.
This because it's in the World Cup's in 2022, but rather than being in the summer because it's in such a hot place, Qatar.
It's in Qatar, yeah.
It's going to be. I think the finals the day before my birthday.
Really?
December 19th.
All right, cool.
So that'll be sick. And
I'll take you.
Anyways,
leave it to Chris.
We're almost at 30 minutes, so we should probably sign off.
Okay, let's sign off. Yes. You do that. You're the broadcaster here.
I'm Chris Daly. I was about to say host, but
Chris Daly and his prop.
His prop. Gosh.
You gonna leave me hanging? Come on.
Not an object.
And as you can see, he still has his broken wrist.
I still have my own prop too.
Yeah. So you got to get that thing better. You hear me? So we get you back out on the pitch, and I can get to watch you play some soccer.
Yes, that is the goal. That is the plan.
But listen, next week we should come back, right? Or when's our next show?
Friday.
Okay, so maybe we could talk a little bit more hockey. I know you love soccer.
Friday. We talked a lot of hockey.
All right.
We talked a lot of hockey.
I want to get more in depth into hockey.
We'll get more in depth into hockey.
All right, good enough. Adios, amigos.